When Noah was 3, a physician walked in the room, an ENT walked in the room, heard him breathing. So he had really bad stridor. He walked in, he said he needs a trach, and he walked out. It's like, oh, whoa, okay. Um, and so I have started this conversation since Noah was 3 years old, or thinking about what does this look like for us. And then in 2020, right before everything shut down, we were working to get, I think, CPAP or do something. And the respiratory therapist is, well, all he needs is a trach. Oh, okay, just okay. Thank you. At 3, he and I talked about it. And Noah doesn't use words to communicate, but he communicates, right? We talked about trach and what does that what does that mean and what does that look like and how will that impact our quality of life, yours as well as mine. And even before we got to this conversation, Blythe and I will tell you, I forget the family's name, but there was a mom. There's a clip, and she was talking about their decision to not do a trach. And I think up until that point, before watching that video, had kind of been brainwashed. I had been brainwashed. There's a fix. You can do it. If you love your kid, this is what you'll do. And in watching that video was, even though I wasn't at that space, I didn't need that at that time. It was such a light bulb moment for me. One that, no, you don't have to do this. And if you choose not to, you're still a loving parent. And giving yourself permission to know your children and what's best for them, and knowing what your family life is like and what's best for your family. And it is a loving decision to not do everything. So having that in the back of my mind as I've been presented through the years with this for my own family, um, has been very helpful. And she looked like me. So having a Black mom and dad make this decision and know that you won't be criminalized. Um, and to be able to say, I love my child with all my heart. And as hard as a decision as it is the best decision for them. Um, and so that's a space that I'm in now because he needs a trach. And we've made a decision that that's not something that we're going to do because it would totally alter his quality of life. And I don't, even our palliative care physician, excuse me, had said, I'm like, he's not going to keep it in. He's an active kid. Regard Train wreck on paper, he's not this paper. And he has a good life and he's active. And it would so change him. And that's not fair. It's not fair to him, in my opinion. Because there's a fix, and it's not a fix, it's a temporary prolonging. And for how my son is, that would not be a good quality of life for him. And so our palliative care, when we are presented, when we are in meetings with new physicians and they say, well, he just needs a trach. And she is in the room and she can back me up and say, this is a decision that has been made and That's not an option that's on the table. And Naomi understands what that means.